It was the summer of 2022, and I was 16, spending most of my evenings glued to my laptop in my bedroom. The air was thick with that sticky August heat, and my room smelled faintly of the lavender candle I'd lit to mask the staleness. My desk was a mess. Empty soda cans, a half-eaten bag of chips, and a tangle of charging cables. Outside, the street was quiet except for the occasional hum of a car passing by or the distant bark of a neighbor's dog. My window was cracked open, letting in a faint breeze that barely moved the curtains. I was deep into a Minecraft server I'd been part of for about a year, a small community of maybe 15 or 20 kids, most of us between 14 and 17. We'd build these elaborate structures, castles, floating islands, whole cities, pixel by pixel, chatting over Skype for hours. It was my escape, a place where I felt like I belonged. The group was tight-knit. We'd share memes, follow each other on Instagram, and sometimes even vent about school or family drama. One guy, Ethan, stood out. He was my age, a junior at a high school a few states away. He was funny, always quick with a sarcastic comment or a dumb pun that'd make me roll my eyes. We'd teamed up on a lot of builds, an underwater temple, a massive treehouse, and over time, we started talking more just the two of us. Late-night Skype calls turned into a routine. We'd talk about everything, music, movies, how much we hated chemistry homework. I'd sit there, cross-legged on my bed, the blue glow of my screen lighting up my face, laughing at his terrible impressions of our history teacher. It felt easy, safe, like having a best friend I'd never met in person. But around May, something shifted. It was subtle at first, hard to pin down. Ethan started asking more personal questions, where I hung out after school, what my neighborhood was like. I didn't think much of it. We were close, and it seemed normal to share stuff like that. But then he'd make these offhand comments like, "Bet I could find your house on Google Maps," followed by a laugh that didn't quite land right. I'd brush it off, tell myself he was just joking. Still, I started noticing how he'd linger on certain details I shared, repeating them back later in a way that made my stomach twist. Like the time I mentioned grabbing coffee at a shop near my house, and a week later, he asked, "You still go to that place on Oak Street? The one with the red awning?" I hadn't told him the street name, or described the awning. By June, I started pulling back. I'd mute my mic during group calls, stick to typing in the server chat instead of joining Skype. Ethan noticed. He'd message me privately, short texts at first, like, "Yo, you good?" Then longer ones. "Feels like you're avoiding me." Did I do something? I didn't know how to respond. I wasn't even sure what was wrong, just that something felt off. My room, once a cozy haven, started feeling exposed. I'd catch myself glancing at the window, checking the lock. Even though I was on the second floor, the street lamp outside cast a yellowish glow across my curtains, and sometimes I'd stare at it, half expecting to see a shadow move. One night, I was scrolling through Instagram when a DM popped up from Ethan. It was a screenshot of a Google Street View image, a blurry shot of a house that looked uncomfortably familiar. My house. The caption read, "This you? LOL." My heart thudded in my chest. I locked my phone, tossed it onto my bed like it was burning. It could have been a coincidence, I told myself. He'd probably just guessed based on stuff I'd mentioned. But I hadn't told him my address. Not even close. I didn't sleep much that night. The hum of my laptop fan sounded too loud, and every creak of the house made me flinch. I decided to distance myself completely. I left the Minecraft server, muted our group chat, and stopped answering Ethan's messages. For a while, it worked. July passed quietly. I spent my days at the community pool or binge-watching shows with my sister, trying to shake the unease that clung to me like damp clothes. My room felt normal again, messy, warm, mine. I'd almost convinced myself I'd overreacted. Then, in early August, I got a text from an unknown number. "Miss our talks. You still play Minecraft?" My mouth went dry. I hadn't given Ethan my number, but I knew it was him. I didn't respond, just blocked the number and tried to ignore the way my hands shook. A few days later, another message came through, this time from a different number. "Saw you got a new hoodie. Blue looks good on you." I froze. I had bought a blue hoodie the week before, wore it to the mall with friends. I'd posted a group photo on my story, but it was up for maybe an hour before I deleted it. How had he seen it? My account was private. I told my friend Sarah about it, hoping she'd laugh it off, tell me I was being paranoid. She didn't. "That's creepy as hell," she said, her voice low over the phone. "You need to tell someone." I wanted to, but who? My parents would freak out, probably take my phone away. And what could I say? Some guy I met online was being weird? It didn't feel like enough. Still, I started keeping my blinds shut, even during the day. The lavender candle burned down to a stub, and I didn't replace it. My room felt smaller, the walls closer. The next week, I was home alone. It was a Thursday evening, around 7:30 p.m. The sky was a deep purple, the kind that makes everything look soft and unreal. I was sprawled on the couch, half watching some true crime show, when my phone buzzed. Another unknown number. This time, it was a photo, a grainy image of my street, taken from the corner near the stop sign. The street lamp was on, casting its sickly glow over the pavement. No caption, just a picture. My throat tightened. I stood up, peered through the living room blinds. The street was empty, but the shadows felt heavier, like they were hiding something. I locked every door, checked every window. My parents wouldn't be back until late. They were at some work dinner, and my sister was sleeping over at a friend's. The house was too quiet, the kind of quiet that amplifies every sound. The fridge hummed. The floor creaked. I turned off the TV, afraid its noise would mask something else. I sat on the couch, clutching my phone, debating whether to call Sarah or 911 or nobody. What would I even say? I got a weird text. It wasn't a crime, but it didn't feel right. Around 9 p.m., I heard it, a faint tap like a pebble hitting glass. It came from the back of the house, where my room was. My stomach dropped. I grabbed a kitchen knife, not because I knew what to do with it, but because it felt better than nothing. I crept toward my room, the hallway dark except for the faint glow of a nightlight. The tapping stopped, then started again, sharper this time. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from my window. I didn't want to look, but I had to. I edged into my room, keeping the lights off. The curtains were closed, but a sliver of street lamp light leaked through the gap. I held my breath, eased the curtain aside just enough to peek. Nothing, just the empty backyard, the neighbor's fence, the silhouette of the oak tree. I let out a shaky breath, told myself it was a branch or a squirrel. But as I turned away, my phone buzzed in my pocket. Another photo. This one was clearer. My back porch, the sliding glass door reflecting the flash of whoever took it. It had been sent 3 minutes ago. I don't remember deciding to call the police. My fingers just dialed. My voice sounded wrong when I spoke, too high, tripping over words. "Someone's outside my house," I said. "They keep sending me pictures." The dispatcher was calm, asked for my address, told me to stay on the line. I locked myself in the bathroom, the knife still in my hand, listening for any sound over the pounding in my ears. No more tapping, no footsteps, just silence. The police arrived 15 minutes later, 2 officers with flashlights, sweeping the yard. They found nothing. No footprints, no signs of anyone. They took my statement, looked at the text, but there wasn't much they could do. Could be a prank. One said, not unkindly. Kids mess around like that. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed in the living room, lights on, refreshing my phone like it'd give me answers. The text stopped, but the quiet was worse. Every shadow felt like it was watching me. I kept thinking about Ethan, his laugh, his questions, the way he'd say my name like it belonged to him. I didn't know if it was him out there, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he'd been closer than I realized. School started a week later, and I threw myself into it. Homework, volleyball practice, anything to keep my mind off that night. I deleted my Skype account, blocked every number that wasn't in my contacts. My parents got a security camera for the porch, but it didn't catch anything strange. Life moved on, or tried to. I stopped going online as much, avoided group chats. Sarah checked in, but I didn't tell her everything. It felt too big, too unreal. Then, in October, I got a friend request on Instagram. A new account, no profile pic, just a string of numbers for a username. I didn't accept it, but I clicked to see the posts. There was only one. A photo of a Minecraft build, a replica of the underwater temple we'd made together. The caption read, "Miss this." My chest tightened. I blocked the account, deleted my own profile that same day. I didn't tell anyone. It's been months now, and nothing else has happened. No text, no photos, no tapping at my window. The security camera hums quietly on the porch, recording nothing but leaves and the occasional stray cat. My room feels okay again, most days. I've got a new candle, vanilla this time, and I keep the blinds open during the day. But at night, when the street lamp flickers on, I check the locks twice. I don't know if it was Ethan, or someone else, or just my mind playing tricks. I don't know if they're gone for good. All I know is I don't feel alone, even when I am.